Hi and welcome to my podcast. My name is Ina and I am a passionate knitter, so this podcast is all about yarn and knitting. We have reached episode 23 and today is December 21st, and I really wanted to put together an episode before I am off to celebrate Christmas. So here we are, and daylight is not very good at the moment, so I hope the lighting is okay and that the colors will show up correctly. If not, we just have to roll with it, I guess. That's how life is in the northern hemisphere these days. We have about 4 hours of daylight. So yes, it doesn't get any darker than this because the sun is turning today or tomorrow. It's winter solstice, so that's great. So a warm welcome to you all. I am very grateful for all the great feedback that I get from you and the kind encouragement that I get on my podcast and on my vlogs. So right now I have been doing a couple of advent vlogs. They are out on my channel on YouTube, and go watch if you're interested. There will be one more of these advent vlogs, and the final episode of the vlogs will include the celebration of Christmas in our cabin. We are going there, and therefore it will be up a little later in December, closer to New Year, because it's not very... I don't have my computer in the cabin, so it's a bit difficult to edit up there. So even though I haven't had an episode in December, a podcast episode in December, you will have seen a little bit of what I've been up to through my vlogs. So if you was interested. But today I have a lot to show you, and I have some new projects on my needles, and I also have some acquisitions. I have some new lovely yarns that have come my way and that I'm very excited about. I also have been doing some spinning, can you believe it? And I have some knit-alongs to talk about. And I have been drawing winners for the Lumpy Space knit-along, the lovely shawl from Stephen West that we have been knitting through this fall. And so stay tuned for the winners. And we also have a new knit-along going in my Ravelry group and on Instagram, and that's the Anything Norwegian. And it's actually a make-along because you can crochet or you can knit, but the main idea is to use designs of Norwegian designers. So and you have, the biggest variety of Norwegian indie designers, and I have been putting together a list of the designers that just came to mind. And the list is in my Ravelry group, which is called Ina Knits. You can search for it on ravelry.com. And there you have a list of a lot of lovely independent Norwegian designers. So I encourage you to pop over there and read through the list and check out those designers to see what they have to offer. There are so many wonderful ones. And yeah, so I have some knitting plans for my Anything Norwegian knit-along, and I'm going to show you right now. I think this episode will probably be a little bit different I usually do my finished object in the beginning, but I guess I will just jump right into the works in progress. So the first thing I'm working on at the moment is a lovely pullover, and this is a design by Arnhild SKatvedt, and she has a profile on Ravelry, but unfortunately she hasn't put up any of her recent designs on Ravelry, so it's a bit difficult to link to that, but she has a website, and I am linking to her website in the show notes below this video on YouTube. So this is a very, very beautiful sweater. Excuse me, I need to do something about my lighting here. Okay, so the lighting is terrible, but that's how it is. It's a bit gloomy, and if I have any lamps on inside, it shows up super weird. Okay, so this is the pullover, and it is called Tara. The Tara-genser. It is called in Norwegian, so it's Tara pullover basically. So this marker shows where I was at when I showed you this in my previous podcast episode. The design is quite simple. It's a top-down raglan with increases, and you have these quite broad panels where we do the increases, both in the front and at the back. And the panels, they continue under both arms. So that's a very nice detail. The sweater is supposed to be a bit oversized, and it is super light and fluffy. I am using a combination of Isager Highlandsull and Rauma Plum. The color of the Isager is wine. So I would describe these as quite, red wine colorish, burgundy. And yeah, so I have separated for sleeves, and I'm now knitting the body, and I'm using 4.5mm needles, so it's a quite fast knit. So the only thing that's it's a very easy knit. You can definitely knit this while doing other things, watching TV or having a conversation, but at the same time I need to make sure that I bring both strands with me all the time, so that's the challenge. So especially the silk mohair, it tends to escape the stitch, if you know what I mean. So I need to look down quite frequently, at least, to make sure that I have carried both strands all the way. So anyway, this is a lovely jumper, and I am looking very much forward to have it finished. And I need to show you the beautiful project bag that's with this project. And this is a project bag that Nordic Stitches, Lily of Nordic Stitches, she has made this, and she gifted it to me. It's so super cute and very season appropriate. And I need to show you the lining as well. And the lining consists of these little reindeer with a golden nose. So cute! Okay, my second project for the Anything Norwegian along is the Evja mittens. And you know, these are the first design from Skeindeer's Mitten Club, the second one that has been running this fall. And I have, for some reason, not being able to finish. So this is the progress I have on the very first mitten. So I really want to finish this pair, and that's why I thought it was a very good project for the Anything Norwegian knit or crochet along. And they are quite fast to knit. It's just that I have not been craving a stranded color work lately for some reason. And there has been other projects that have been calling my name, so that's why this has just been on the hold for quite some time. But I'm bringing that project with me to the cabin to celebrate Christmas, and that will probably get lots of more attention up there. Yes, so if you want to join in on the Anything Norwegian knit along or crochet along, please do. We have a chatter thread in the Ravelry group where you can just post ideas and list up which of the Norwegian designs you want to make for the knit along. And I will also open a finished object thread, so you can post pictures and show us what you have made. And the knit along or crochet along will be running until, at least till the end of January. I will need to see if we will have to run it for a longer time, but that's at least until the end of January. So you have plenty of time. And if you want to post pictures on Instagram, you can use the hashtag Anything Norwegian, and I will pick up and see your projects and your progress there. So yes. So back to finished objects. I only have one finished object today, and that is the socks that I have been knitting for Mom, and that she will receive on Christmas Eve. She wished for a thicker pair of socks for Christmas, and that wish will be granted because I have knit her a nice DK weight sock pair of socks. And unfortunately I can't show you right now because I have kind of wrapped up that gift already, but I will pop in here a picture so you can have a look at the finished pair. They were knit out of Sandnes Robust, it is called. It's wool and acrylic and nylon blend, I believe. And so they're quite nice, sturdy socks, but they are a bit softer to the skin compared to the regular sturdy DK weight sock yarn that are available in the stores. So I'm very excited to see how they will wear. My mother, she prefers softer yarn, so that's why I chose that yarn for her socks. So yes, hopefully she will be pleased, and I I think it's a lovely, lovely thing to give away something homemade for Christmas. So I'm more than happily will knit for my family and friends. So I realize now that I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing today. This is my Cumulus blouse that I knitted earlier this year. It is lovely and soft and fluffy. So, it's a design by Petite Knits, and I really like this one. It's knit out of 2 strands of silk mohair. So it's like a cloud to wear, and yeah, I have been using it quite a lot lately because it's very warm. This Advent season has been a fun one because I have had the pleasure of opening 2 yarn Advent calendars and 1 tea calendar every day, and I will show you now. I have swapped Advent calendars with Daisy and Heidi, 2 of my knitting friends here locally, and we gifted each other 12 mini skeins of fingering weight sock yarn, and so that we can open 1 each day until Christmas Eve. And these one are the 4 that are left. So this has been super fun. You know, we did this last year as well, and then I wanted to do something special about those minis, but I haven't used them yet. So I decided that this year I was going to knit something special with the minis, and the decision was to make a pair of socks. You all know how I love Scrappy socks. So this is the sock so far, and I really love it. I have knitted them as they were unwrapped. So this is December 1st, and then I have just knit 6 rows of every little mini until down here I am at, that was yesterday's mini. And I have knit them 2 at a time, but on DPNs. And this one is a little bit behind. I need to add the last 3 balls down there. I didn't plan out or measure or anything. I just started off and I knitted 6 rows of every color. And then I realized at some point that, oops, if I am to complete an entire sock out of these minis, I need to pop in the heel now. So that's why they are kind of shorty socks. Not shorty, but they are, yeah, you know what I mean. The cuff could be longer. So I pop in a heel, and the heel is not from my mini advent calendar. It is a mini that I have gotten through a swap with Anna-Pia from Stickande Fru Svarvar. She has a wonderful podcast on YouTube, and she has hand dyed this yarn, and I thought it fits so well together with the colors up here. You know, I knitted from cuff down, and obviously okay. And because they're so random, you know, up here there are quite a few reds and oranges and purples and so on, and then I thought, oh, I need some green, so I popped. That's why I chose the green for the heel. But then when I came down here on the foot, you know, then I got all the green minis. But I guess this is what I love so much about Scrappy socks. It's that they look totally random and childish, and I can't get enough of these. So the pair is quite similar, but some of the minis are self-striping, so that's why you got some differences up here, for instance. Yay! Scrappy socks. And I have quite a lot left of every mini. So these are all minis that I have knitted into the socks already. And the remains of these minis will go into the crocheted blanket that I was supposed to start this Advent, but it will have to wait until you know, the 12 days of Christmas, the days after Christmas Eve. And that is the crochet blanket called Show Off Your Colors. And I talked about it in my previous episode. And that is a wonderful way of using colors and using old scraps and turning it into a crochet blanket. So I can't wait to start that one, but I have a lot of lovely, lovely minis that will be crocheted into that blanket eventually. But first I will definitely complete my Happy Scrappy socks. And the other calendar I have had this year is the Opal Advent calendar. And this calendar is the same one that Opal sold, or the Opal one that was last year. So this is not a new one. But I have had an Opal Advent calendar before. That is 3 or 4 years ago. So, and I have used up almost every little bit of those minis from that calendar, and I really, really like that one. So that's why I bought it this year as well. And it has been a very fun one, and my son has been most helpful opening the calendar. So if you haven't seen one before, I can show you right now. Where is 21? There it is. So 21 is down there. Then you have this lovely little ball. Oh, they're so cute. So what have I done with those minis? Well, I have started a new Cozy Memories blanket. And here we are. I am on the second row. And I have been using other yarns as well. Some leftovers that I had in my mini stash. And this time I have been knitting the first 5 rows of every mitered square with quite dark. It's almost black, but it's not completely black. I would call it a charcoal. But basically, I have been using 49 stitches on 3.0 millimeter needles. So the squares are quite a bit bigger than the previous mitered square blanket that I knitted and that I showed you in my last episode. So yeah, and this blanket will be for my son, and he knows it, so he's super excited about the blanket. And whenever he see that I knit, but I knit on other things, he comes up and tells me that you need to put that down now and continue working on my blanket. Oh, he's very excited about it, and he wants me to use every color of the rainbow because he's super fond of colors. So yes, it is a very nice project to work on. But these blankets take time to finish, so I will probably use the entire winter completing it, but it's nice to know that someone is excited about the things you make, isn't it? And I have a lot of these minis now to choose from, so that's great. Well, that was everything that I have been working on this December. I have been spinning though, and if you have followed me for some time, you know that I have been trying both drop spindling, and I have been so fortunate as to be able to borrow a wheel. And I've had that wheel for at least a couple of months now. And the first time I tried the wheel, it turned out like this. So that's a disaster, I would say. It is completely overspun, and it's full of kinks, and you know, it's not able to, you can't use it for anything. But you know, I am very realistic about these things, and I know that I need practice before I can be a good spinner. So, but I didn't manage to figure out what I did wrong. What was the issue here? So the wheel was on pause for many weeks until the Saturday in the beginning of December, when I was going to watch a Christmas movie together with my daughter, and I figured, wow, now it's a perfect time to pull out the wheel again. We was going to see The Grinch, the original movie, which is a movie that we watch every year. So it's not that like I have had to follow very closely. I know how the movie goes. So I pulled out the wheel and I was spinning for the entire movie, and this is the result. And I'm pretty pleased with my progress. So this is a whole lot better than the first attempt, and yeah, I have now spun up the entire bat that I got of this fiber. And I got a couple of other bats as well, and I will in not too long give them a spin as well, and hopefully I will continue my progress and crack the spinning code at some point. I'm not going to try and apply this. I think I will just keep it as a memory of my first spinning practices. I have received some new lovely woolly goodies, and I want to show you what I got. First of all, I have gotten the final installment of Socker that Rocker, the monthly subscription of Milla's microfargeri. And this was the November colorway, and I'm totally in love. It is so freaking beautiful. Fantastic. I was visiting Lily of Nordic Stitches a couple of weeks ago. We had a lovely meetup and we did some knitting together, and she so generously gifted me another project bag. Look at this, with the lovely socks, the Christmas socks. And this is a drawstring. And in this, she gifted me 2 hanks of single ply from Milla's microfargeri. In this beautiful color called Bronzeblad. It's a bronze color, or copper, or yeah, something in that category. Wow. And she gifted me this because she was making a shawl out of it, but it wasn't her color, so she thought maybe I could get some use out of it. I will definitely do, because that is a gorgeous yarn. And she also gifted me this one, which is a gauge measure from Knitting I Love. Isn't that a beautiful piece? Wow. Thank you, Lily. That was so generous and sweet of you. I also went to the market called Trondheimsstrikk, and that was in the beginning of November, so it's quite some time ago now. And I did show you what I purchased. It is all in my very first hygge-vlog. But I will just shortly show you what I got. Firstly, I bought some Brooklyn Tweed Loft. And this is a yarn that I have been drooling over for a long time. And I bought a sweater's quantity, and this is the color postcard. I also bought some lovely ornaments, and these are from Patricia of Knitography, and she this is cut out of wood from her farm, and you're supposed to do some stitch work in the middle here, and they will turn out like Selby roses, and then you can hang them up on the Christmas tree. And that is something I'm going to do. I will bring this and some scrap yarn to the cabin, and I will do these and hang them on the tree, so stay tuned for that. I love that idea, it's so cute. Lastly, me and one of my friends who went to Trondheimsstrikk, we We visited the Garnbutikken Fortuna booth, and we couldn't resist, but we had to buy the fade kit from Hedgehog Fibers. That is the kit especially put together for the Find Your Fade shawl from Andrea Mowry, and it was such a beautiful fade. I will make a separate video and put it in here so you can see, because it's so difficult to hold them up together. But basically there were 7 100-gram hanks of yarn in there, and we split all the hanks in 2. So now I got 7 50-gram yarn cakes, and I am still contemplating what I'm going to do with those. I will probably not knit the Find Your Fade. I will maybe knit a shawl. I could also do a sweater out of them, perhaps together with some other yarns. So we shall see. For now they are just beautiful gems laying in my stash, and nice to look at. And I was so happy that I finally got to meet the wonderful ladies behind Garnbutikken Fortuna, and I am going to plan and take a trip to their wonderful shop, hopefully in January or February, so that I can meet them again and do some more, chat some more. They're so lovely and their yarns are beautiful. So yes, that was Trondheim Strik. I also did buy some yarn from Værbit. Værbit is a yarn shop in Oslo where they sell hand-dyed yarns. They hand-dye themselves on Norwegian yarn basis. This is a wonderful hank of speckled yarn, and it's called strøssel. And strøssel translates to sprinkles in English. And the yarn base is Hillesvåg Ask, which is a sport weight. So that's something I will save for a special project. I'm not decided yet what I will make of it, but I do love it very, very much. I have been doing an Advent swap with Meg of Wool and Cookies podcast. We decided to swap Advent packages and send some local goodies and some holiday yarns. Oh my word, what a treat to receive this package from her. She sent me these 2 lovely hanks. This one is a Lolo Did It. It's a hippo for Christmas. Oh, it's beautiful. And this one also speaks Christmas to me, but I'm not sure if it is Christmas related. But it's from Yarnbrary. It's called Bodhi's Ripper. So beautiful. And I got the scrumptious pearl. Oh my god! This is one of my dream yarns. It's a Stripe Me Up, and it's called Bird's Nest. Isn't that fantastic? It's a gorgeous self-striping yarn. Wow. And Meg also sent me a lot of lovely David's tea, which I absolutely love, and some yummy treats from a cherry factory, like these cherry sweets. They're cherries with chocolates. Quite yummy. We have had quite a lot of them already. And I'm very excited about this little one, which is a hot chocolate. It's you put it in some hot milk and dissolve the chocolates, and it's got a peppermint stick in there. And that's something that's not very common here, is to add peppermint to the hot chocolate or to chocolates. So I'm very excited to try that. I know that's a very common thing in the States and probably other places as well, but in Norway it's not common at all. So thank you, Meg! That was an amazing swap. I also received a wonderful package gifted to me from Jacqueline in Tokyo. I show the entire package in my advent vlog, but I wanted to show you once more the beautiful yarn that I got. And this was a Canadian brand. It's called Northbound Knitting, and it's a wonderful mix of MCN in these very cool and nice colors. They are totally up my alley. So thank you so much, Jacqueline. That package was a treat. This is later in the afternoon. I have been out. I had to stop recording because I need to get to work and do some errands, and now I'm home again, and you can probably see why it's better for me to record when it's daylight, because the lighting is now super poorly. But I just need to wrap up, and I showed you all that I had on my needles, except for a couple of things. I am knitting on a hat for my son, and I showed you the hat in the previous episode, but it turns out that it has disappeared. I have no clue where it went. I have been searching for it, and it's probably in a project bag somewhere, but I don't know where. So I haven't knit a stitch on that hat since the last episode, unfortunately. The other thing I am working on is the Advent Mystery Mittens by Bottelauge, and I forgot to tell you about it earlier today, but I only did the cuff on the first mitten, so it's not a whole lot to show you, and I will pick that up again and knit some more and hopefully show you a little bit more progress next time. So what's left for me to do now is to draw winners for the Lumpy Space knit along. And boy oh boy did we have fun knitting that shawl together, and me at least, I had great fun following you guys and see the project and see the progress on all the gorgeous shawls. And some of you guys completed your shawl within the time frame of the knit along, and I have been admiring those wonderful shawls. If you don't know, Lumpy Space is a gorgeous shawl designed by Stephen West, and I love my shawl. I will for sure get a lot of use out of it, and yeah, it was great fun to knit together. And if you're curious about my process of that shawl, I have been recording little snippets here and there, and at the very end of this episode I will include a little progress video, so to speak, on how the Lumpy Space shawl came about for me. Now to the winners of the knit along. I had 3 prizes for the Lumpy Space knit along. 2 of them were most generously donated by Kari, and she has the username Kari Monster on Ravelry and Instagram. And she also has a dye studio where she dyes her own yarn and sells it under the name Show Real Studios. So thank you so much, Carrie. It was a super nice and most generous donation to my podcast. And warning, there will be crinkles now. So this is the first prize. And these two lovely hanks of yarn. The top one is called Nacho Mama's yarn. And this quite deep red is called Red River. And here is the label for the dye studio. Very fun. And the winner of these two hanks, Fuddy Duds. Congratulations! Please shoot me an email and tell me your shipping address and full name, and I will get these out to you as soon as I can. Probably over Christmas though. Second prize is another two lovely hanks from Kari. The top one is called Pesco Spill. And the blue one at the bottom is called Gulf Stream. And the winner of these two hanks, Tokyo City Girl, who happens to be Jacqueline, who lives in Tokyo. Isn't that fun? Congratulations! And I draw one winner from the finished object thread, one winner from the chatter thread, and the last winner is from the hashtag Lumpy Space KAL on Instagram. The last prize is a lovely sock pattern designed by Katrine. She is called Mystic Knitter, she's not called Mystic Knitter. She has a lovely podcast in English as well, although she is Norwegian, and that is called The Mystic Knitter here on YouTube. And she has a couple of very nice sock designs out in sport or DK weights. And so you are winning the pattern called Honeycomb and Bees. And together with that prize you get 2 balls of Sterk from the Store Alpaca. It turns out black now, but it's actually very nice and dark green, like a forest green. And together with that you get the Pristre bag. And that prize goes to Bisgård LM. Congratulations to all of the winners, and all of you, please drop me an email and let me know your name and shipping address, and I will ship those prizes out as soon as Christmas is over. So thank you all for participating in the knit along and partaking in the fun and cheering and encouraging each other on. That was great fun. So that's that. I had my last day at work before Christmas holiday, or actually my last working day in 2018. That's great. So now I am off until January 4th, and I will spend that time with my family. I will focus on getting my pulse down because the last few weeks have been quite hectic, and it will be very calming and good for us all to just spend time together without hectic everyday activities going on. So I'm very much looking forward to that. My daughters will spend Christmas together with their father. So in the cabin I will be there, and my partner will be there, and our son. And then my parents are coming on the 23rd, and they will be together with us for 2 or 3 days. So that will be very nice indeed. And I will be recording, and I will put together a final Advent vlog for you from the last days upon Christmas until we have finished Christmas holiday in the cabin. And that vlog will be up late December, hopefully. So until I see you again, have a very lovely, relaxing and joyful Christmas time. And thank you all so much for watching.